This incident took place around the year 1985. Mozahar Ali Sheikh was a very brave man. He used to go out alone at night on purpose. It was almost like an addiction for him. What is fear? It's as if he didn't even have that feeling within him. Physically, he was very strong and well-built. One day, Mozahar Ali went to Mansa Bazaar for shopping. However, he couldn't finish his shopping before Maghrib. There was a mosque in the market, so he offered his Maghrib prayer there and continued shopping afterward. In the meantime, the Isha call to prayer was given. He thought it would be better to pray Isha at the mosque and then head home. So he performed the Isha prayer. After that, he suddenly remembered a few more tasks that needed to be done. While completing those, it became quite late, around 10 p.m. By then, most of the shops had already closed, though a few were still open. He thought, "It's already very late, I should head home now." So he started walking home alone. From Mansa Bazaar, he passed through Palpara. Just after crossing the Palpara intersection, there was the Berub River. Beside the river was a cremation ground. A dirt road passed along the side of that cremation ground. He was walking along that path. After crossing the cremation ground, he felt as if someone was walking behind him, keeping pace with him. He had a torchlight in his hand. He turned back and shined the light, but no one was there. He continued walking. Again, he felt someone following him from behind. This time, without even turning back, he laughed and said loudly, "Hey, do you want to get beaten? Move away from here. If you want, go scare someone else. Don't try to scare me." Saying this, he kept walking and reached near a narrow path. Suddenly, he noticed several bamboo poles lying across the road, blocking his way. But Mozahar Ali was a brave man, and he had experience with paranormal matters. He immediately understood that crossing over those bamboos wouldn't be wise. Then he noticed a stick lying nearby, perhaps a dry branch of a tree. He picked it up and struck the bamboo poles. There wasn't just one or two. There were about 7 or 8 bamboo poles lying there. The moment he struck them, something strange happened. The bamboo poles suddenly stood upright on their own, as if someone had been forcing them down to the ground and now they were released. With the path now clear, he continued walking. After walking a little further, he saw a dark shadow-like figure standing in front of him. When he pointed the torchlight at it, there was nothing there. But as soon as he turned off the light, the shadow appeared again. Then, in a harsh and terrifying voice, it spoke. "So, Mozahar, you dared to strike my body? And now you're trying to see me with your light? Do you think you can see me with that light? You're trying to see me. I'll come in front of you. Why did you strike my body?" Then Mozahar said, "Hey you, now that you've come in front of me, fine. I understand I hit you. But tell me, did I say anything to you first? Who was it that was walking behind me and disturbing me on the road? Tell me, did I hit you first? And then why did you block the road with those bamboos? And now you stand in front of me saying all this? Move aside and let me go home, otherwise you'll get beaten." Then the shadowy figure in front of him said, "This is your greatest crime. Even if I was following you from behind, who gave you the courage to strike me? Do you think you can fight me? Do you have that strength? You struck me, and now you want to hit me again? You have such great courage." Hearing this, Mozahar felt a deep sense of fear. No matter how brave he was, being in such a situation, facing a terrifying shadow figure speaking like this, anyone would feel afraid. But he did not lose his courage. He could not let that entity understand that he was afraid. If it realized his fear, it would become even more dangerous. And if it didn't leave the path, things would get worse. But the entity did not move aside. Mozahar became a bit more angry and said, "Will you move? Or do you really want to get beaten?" The figure still did not move. Instead, it became furious and said, "I see you really want to hit me. Then come hit me. Strike me here, and then I will let you go." As soon as it said this, Mozahar noticed that the dark shadow seemed to float through the air and reached him within seconds. It grabbed him suddenly, but the feeling was not like being held by a solid body. It felt like a wave of hot air wrapping around him. It wasn't like hands grabbing his body. Rather, it felt like something had wrapped around him, like a blanket or quilt being tightly wound around the body. Then it lifted him up into the air. While being lifted, Mozahar realized that this thing was taking him toward the canal beside that narrow path. There was only a little water there, mostly mud. It dragged him there and threw him into the mud. After throwing him down, it kept attacking him continuously. Mozahar realized that he wouldn't be able to overpower this thing. Then he remembered that he had a matchbox tucked at his waist. He tried to take it out, but was that even possible? On one side, he was being attacked constantly. How could he easily take out the matchbox and strike a match? He thought, "This thing is weakening me. Let me see if I can weaken it somehow." He tried to grab the entity, but when he reached out, it felt like he was grasping empty air. The shadow he was seeing, whenever he tried to hold or strike it, it felt like he was embracing nothing but air. There was nothing there. Yet, the thing continued attacking him relentlessly. After some time, between two attacks, he got a brief moment. He tried to get up and pull the matchbox from his waist. At that moment, the shadow seemed to pause slightly. He tried several times. But there was a problem. The matchbox had gotten wet from the mud. And the lungi he was wearing was also soaked. Not completely drenched, but still wet enough to make things difficult. There wasn't much water there, but the muddy water was enough to dampen everything. After several attempts, he finally managed to light a matchstick. And the moment the match lit up, the shadowy figure disappeared. He had no idea where his torchlight had gone. Without wasting a second, he got up and ran toward his home. During that run, nothing else happened. But as soon as he reached home, he started screaming and shouting loudly. Hearing his scream, everyone rushed out of the house. When they came outside, they saw Mozahar Ali Sheikh lying in the courtyard, completely unconscious. His entire body was covered in mud. The family quickly lifted him up, cleaned him with water, and took him inside the house to lay him down. But he did not regain consciousness throughout the night. The next morning, the imam of the local mosque was called. By then, everyone had already realized that this was not something ordinary. The imam performed spiritual healing rituals. Around noon, Mozahar Ali slowly regained consciousness. After waking up, he described everything that had happened the previous night. His body was burning with fever, and although he was not completely paralyzed, he felt no strength at all. It was as if he didn't even have enough strength to hold a pen. Over the next few days, his condition worsened. He could not get up on his own. Even to go to the washroom, he needed support. He didn't have enough strength to stand on his own feet. This condition continued for 4 days. On the 4th day, in the afternoon, while he was lying on the bed, he suddenly let out a terrifying scream. "It's flying!" Hearing the scream, everyone rushed in. When they entered the room, they saw that he had fallen from the bed. His body was motionless. There was no response. Mozahar Ali Sheikh was no longer in this world. He had answered the call of Allah and passed away. Since then, people in the area have believed even more strongly that there are unseen entities roaming near that narrow path, the canal and the cremation ground. Even today, some say that deep in the night, strange shadows can still be seen moving there, and after that incident, even the bravest of people no longer dare to walk that path alone at night. Story 2: This incident also took place in the same location, around that narrow path and the betel leaf garden. In Attaka village, there is a boy named Ayman. His father's name is Islam. Islam Kaka is still alive. His betel leaf garden was located beside that very narrow path. This is a story from one night. Islam Kaka was asleep. Suddenly, he felt as if it was already morning. As usual, he had to go to his betel garden. Thinking this, he got up from bed, picked up a large machete, locally known as a high soda, and set out toward the narrow path. The night was silent. An unnatural stillness surrounded everything. As he walked along the road, he noticed another person walking ahead of him, as if he was also heading to work. After a while, the man entered another betel garden nearby. Islam Kaka assumed he must be someone familiar going to his own garden. So, he entered his own garden and started working as usual. After working for quite a long time, he suddenly felt that something was wrong. He had been working for so long, but morning wasn't coming. The sunlight was not rising overhead. He looked up at the sky and saw that the moonlight was still the same. The surrounding light had not changed at all. A chill ran through his chest. Oh no! What have I done? Did I come at the wrong time? It seems I came out in the deep of the night. Just then, he heard a strange laugh. He. It wasn't terrifying in the usual way. Rather, it sounded strangely sweet, like the innocent laughter of a child. But within that sweetness, there was something so cold and unnatural that it made his blood freeze. At that moment, Islam Kaka realized he was in serious danger. Suddenly, thump, thud, thud, the sound of something heavy walking toward him. The betel gardens were surrounded by fences made of bamboo and straw to keep animals away. Islam Kaka quickly moved toward the fence and tried to look outside through a gap. And then he saw it, a gigantic elephant. But it was no ordinary elephant. Its ears were enormous, almost the size of its entire body. It looked as if it flapped those ears, it could rise into the sky. The elephant was slowly approaching his betel garden. A wave of dread struck him. If this elephant steps onto the garden, even once, it will destroy everything in an instant. Without wasting time, he quickly lit a biddy. Then, gripping the high soda tightly in his hand, he gathered his courage and stepped outside. He stood directly in front of that terrifying creature, ready to face it. He already knew that this was not a normal elephant. This was something else. But he had no choice, he had to face it. Otherwise, it would destroy his betel garden, which was his only source of livelihood. Gathering his courage, he stepped forward. As soon as he moved closer, the elephant suddenly stopped in front of him. Trying to act even braver, he tightened his grip on the machete, raised it high, and charged toward the elephant as if he was about to strike it. But the elephant suddenly turned around and started running in the opposite direction. Islam Kaka ran a few steps after it, but then suddenly something came to his mind. He stopped, turned around, and started running back toward his home. He ran all the way back without stopping. Reaching home, he started shouting and calling everyone. The family members were in deep sleep. When they woke up and came outside, they asked, "What happened? Where did you come from at this hour?" He replied, "I thought it was already morning, so I went to the betel garden." They were shocked and said, "Have you gone mad? It's still the middle of the night. Morning is far away. You went to the garden at this time." Seeing that he was frightened, they quickly told him to take a bath. Following the village customs, they bathed him and even gave him water touched with heated iron for protection, then brought him inside. He soon fell asleep. The next morning, the imam of the mosque was called again. After hearing everything, the imam said, "My son, you are very fortunate. Allah has shown mercy on you. If you had continued following that elephant, even by mistake, you would surely have died. Do you think the elephant ran away because you raised your machete? No, it turned and ran so that you would chase it. If you had gone a little further, you would have fallen into great danger. By the grace of Allah, the thought came to your mind to turn back and return home. Otherwise, what could have happened, only Allah knows." And that is where Islam Kaka's incident ends. But the strange occurrences in that area did not end there. In the same at Taka village, there is another man named Tariqul Islam. One day, his grandfather was returning home from Munsa Bazaar after shopping. As he approached that same narrow path, he saw something terrifying. A very tall woman was sitting on a mango tree beside the path, swinging her legs. Her legs were so long that they almost touched the ground. It seemed she was wearing a red sari. Seeing this, Tariqul's grandfather became extremely frightened. He started reciting whatever prayers he knew while standing there. Then the woman spoke. "Why? Won't you go home?" Terrified, he turned around and started walking back toward the market. But from behind, the voice kept calling. "Why aren't you going home? Come this way, come. I'll walk you ahead. Come, why are you afraid?" He didn't dare look back even once. He kept walking toward the market. After walking for some time, when he got close to the market area, he finally saw 4 or 5 people from Ataka village coming toward him. And only then did he feel that he might have escaped something truly terrifying. At that moment, Tariqul's grandfather told them everything in detail. The men said, "Come, let's go together. What is there to be afraid of?" So they all walked back together toward that place. But this time, they didn't see anything unusual. Eventually, they all returned home safely. Tarek's family had many cows. To graze them, they had to cross that narrow path and take them to the bank of the Barab River. One evening, as dusk was approaching, Tarek's grandmother told his mother, "Go quickly and bring the cows back before it gets too late." So Tarek's mother went to bring the cows. While returning with them, the Maghrib call to prayer had already finished just a few minutes earlier. As she approached that same narrow path, the cows suddenly started behaving strangely. They began to moo loudly without reason. Within moments, the cows panicked and started running toward home. Each cow had a rope tied around its neck, and Tarek's mother was holding the extended part of those ropes. But the cows ran with such force that no human could have held them back. The ropes slipped from her hands, and she fell forward onto the ground. As soon as she fell, the ropes completely slipped away, and the cows ran off, crossing the narrow path toward home. She quickly got up and thought, "At least they are heading home." Then she started walking forward again. But as she reached near the narrow path, she saw something terrifying. A woman sitting on a mango tree. The woman had tied her long hair to a branch of the tree and was swinging from it, using her own hair like a rope. Her entire body was hanging and swaying in the air. Then the woman called out to her in a strange voice, "Hey, you wanna swing? Come swing with me." Seeing this, Tarek's mother was filled with terror. Even though there was still a faint light around, darkness had not fully fallen yet, but the sight was enough. She ran as fast as she could straight to her house without looking back even once. By the grace of Allah, she made it home safely. When she told everything, Tarek's grandfather asked, "Which tree was it?" As soon as she described it, he realized, "That's the same mango tree where I once saw that figure." Later, the imam was called again, and spiritual rituals were performed for her. That mango tree, people say, still exists to this day. Years passed. Tarek's mother got married within the same village, so both her parental home and her in-laws' house were nearby. Tarek and his brother grew up there. Tarek was the younger one. One day, Tarek went to Mansa Bazaar. He was supposed to return home by evening, but after meeting friends, he got delayed chatting with them. It was summer, and time passed quickly. At one point, he noticed that it was already around 10:30 at night. He told his friends, "It's very late. I need to go home." His friends offered, "We can walk you home." But Tarek tried to act brave and said, "No, I'll go alone." He thought that if he admitted fear, they might laugh at him. So he started walking alone. He crossed Palpara, then passed the cremation ground. As he moved further, he suddenly felt his body becoming heavy. Fear started creeping in. All the past incidents of that place began flashing in his mind. He started reciting Surah Fatiha, Surah Ikhlas, and other verses loudly while walking. Suddenly, he felt that someone was walking behind him. He knew he must not look back, so he ran. He ran as fast as he could. As he got close to the narrow path, suddenly, a loud slap hit his back. It was painful. He stumbled forward but didn't fall. Still, he did not stop running. Then, a wave of hot air struck his face, intense and burning, like when you step out of an air-conditioned room into extreme heat, but much stronger, concentrated only on his face. Somehow, he crossed that narrow path and moved a bit further. Then everything suddenly felt normal again. He ran all the way home, breathing heavily. When his parents asked what happened, he tried to speak, but no words came out. That very night, a religious healer was called. After performing rituals, he said, "He is unable to speak because of fear. He will recover." Later, Tarek could speak, but his voice had changed. It became hoarse and weak, like someone suffering from severe throat illness in winter. Days passed, but his voice never returned to normal. Doctors said it was laryngitis, possibly caused by cold exposure. He was given medicine, but nothing improved. His family tried everything: doctors, spiritual healers, traditional remedies, but nothing fully cured him. Even today, Tarek has not regained his normal voice. The hoarseness still remains, though it has slightly improved over time. But his voice never became what it once was. And with that, the story ends. All these incidents happened in and around that same narrow path, that same cursed place beside the Berub River, near the cremation ground, where even today, people believe something unseen still roams in the darkness.